Welcome back to one of only two countries that has held a race every year since the very first Formula One World Championship in 1950. It is, of course, Italy, one of the great racing nations, and it's time to get underway for the Italian Grand Prix. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Verstappen, George Russell and Ricciardo, Perez, Sainz, the Professor and Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, Lance Stroll and Vettel, Gasly, Albon, Yuki Tsunoda and Mick Schumacher. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Latifi, Magnussen, Joe, they've taken a grid penalty, and Marino Sato. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Welcome to Driving Immersion for the immersive racing experience. If this is your first time here, we drive full-length races without assists, from the driver's cockpit with a force feedback wheel and pedal set. We are racing in the career mode with the full 22 races of the 2022 season, along with any attainable upgrades and improvements on the car as the season progresses, the way the game is meant to be played.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Stick around for our pit strategy and our setup for a clear day. We'll also have a race summary at the end. Welcome to Monza, the Temple of Speed. So it's going to be a clear day. Don't expect any rain, and here we go for our formation lap. As we accelerate out of our grid box, we approach turn 1 and 2 at our highest speed during the race of more than 200 miles an hour. So turn 1 and 2 is a right-left chicane, and it is the first variante. And as we accelerate out of turn 2, it's going to be very important to keep our grip, as we are going to be building very high speeds here through turn 3, a very wide right-hander. And we will be building speed up to the 100-meter mark.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good.
That will take us to our second variante, turns 4 and 5. Wide right turn through turn 6, the first of 2 Lesmos. Turn 7 here to the right, the second Lesmo. And that is going to take us onto the back straight, a DRS zone. Under the bridge, which is the old oval track. Braking hard at the 100-meter mark, we are going to go through turn 8, 9, and turn 10 here to the left. Another long straight. And this is going to take us onto Parabolica, which is actually pretty wide, so we don't have to brake until the 50-meter mark. And you'll just dab on the brakes a little bit to maintain speed through there. And that is going to take us back into the start-finish line through the DRS zone. So we'll form into our grid box here.
Decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights.
Five red lights go off, and it's a go. So again, we're a little bit slow to get out of our good spot. We're passed by 2 or 3 cars. Very cautiously through turns 1 and 2, as there is bound to be a collision, as crowded as it is.
Not a good start.
into turn 7 of the first lap. We're just trying to maintain our position on the track, trying to avoid any collisions with any of the other cars.
So that was a bad start, but don't overreact. We can salvage this.
We're able to drive right underneath Lance Stroll through the Parabolica, as we are able to brake harder than he was able to.
This is not going to be pretty.
Well, it looked like it was going to be pretty wide through the first chicane, but I guess cooler heads prevailed. We are now under the wing of one of the Alpines as we dive underneath. And that is a pass through the second Variante. On the gravel on the exit of turn 7. And that is going to slow down our exit. We have one of the Alpines, Fernando Alonso, back underneath our wing. We approach the Parabolica and he's going to stay back. And that is the exit out of turn 10.
We're going to get on with the race.
And through Parabolica and through here, we're going to be gaining a lot of time on the other cars as we're able to brake very hard, very late into the turn.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
We're going to sit back and be the spectator as we come in through 1 and 2. And that is Alex Albon and Esteban Ocon. Just got by Albon in the Alpine. Not enough room to make a pass here. Turn 6. Turn 7, and again the exit is very important. It's a long straight underneath the old track. We've got our DRS
We're
zone.
accumulating somewhere on the MGUK. To manage this, we're going to need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
We're able to dive underneath Alex Albon even though he had his DRS open. And that is Esteban Ocon in the Alpine just ahead of us. Approaching the Parabolica. There we go. Again, we're able to dive just deep enough underneath that he can't turn in, and we're going to be able to hold him out and make the pass. Here's our pit strategy. Our practice session showed that we're going to need 96.8 kilograms of fuel for the race. So in order to complete this race, we're going to need 55 laps of fuel, 2 more laps than we're actually going to drive. And there's our tire strategy. We're going to use a set of the soft tires to start the race. That's going to take us through just 10 laps, followed by 2 sets of the medium tires. One is going to take us 21 laps. The other one we're going to drive for 22 laps. And neither of those sets are actually going to be driven to their optimum grip level, so neither of them should be slowing us down while we're circling the track. Riding from the T-Cam of Esteban Ocon, we are watching the 66. Here's our aero setup for the race. The front wing is set on 3 and the rear wing is set on 7. Very low downforce, longer sweeping turns, long straights, very slow chicanes. We don't need any more than this.
That's 3 seconds.
Here's our settings for the differential. It is at an 85% locked, as we're going to need both wheels turning at equal rates when we accelerate out of the straight exits from the chicanes. So looking on from the cockpit, you can see that we've got a partly cloudy sky We don't expect any rain today, so we couldn't actually start off with a lot less fuel
Okay,
in the
so we're
tank.
leading our teammate by 6.6
Our camber in the front is set low at just negative 3.0 and the rear at negative 1.7. The two Lesmos have wide aprons on the exits and the second is cambered on the entrance. The Parabolica is flat, but again the exit has a wide apron, so they are very forgiving upon exit. There's not much for the toe adjustment, just enough for flicking the car through the chicanes, but not enough to reduce our top speed. Our front suspension is set fairly firm at 10 as we need the car to react quickly to the abrupt turn-ins at the chicanes and the Lesmos. The rear is set to 4, just enough to keep the tires planted upon acceleration. The front anti-roll bar is set at 6 to be compliant on the long curves at the Lesmos and the Parabolica, and still soft enough for the very hard braking at the chicanes. The rear anti-roll bar is set to 7, very firm actually. It is also so that we can push the tires down upon the hard accelerations out of the exits. The ride height is set pretty low at just 2 in the front and 3 in the rear. We just need to avoid riding over the curbs. They will certainly produce damage. The brakes are set to 154% bias, and we'll be adjusting that on the fly. For the front tires, we have them at 24 psi and the rears at 22.3. Our main concern here is just to keep them cool. Tire wear here should be very low, and there will be some teams that are going for just a one-stop pit strategy. Just behind Daniel Ricciardo. And the timing on the left side
Big
of
lock
the
up there.
screen there shows that we have just attained the fastest lap of the race so far. Looking on from the T-cam of Sergio Perez, looking back at Daniel Ricciardo with the 66 just behind him. And you can watch the 66 just approaching as we enter the braking zones.
Well, it looks like we are making time on the cars up ahead.
Into Parabolica, we brake at the 50 meter mark, just down to 5th gear, and then quickly back up to 6th gear so that we can accelerate out. And again, through the start-finish line, we're going to be reaching our top speed for the race. We're looking at a battle for 2nd place between 4 cars, and that is a couple of Mercedes and McLaren, and of course the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. And it looks like he won out here. Checking out in first place is Charles Leclerc in a Ferrari. You can see here now that he is about 4.5 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton as they battle here. Riding here with Max Verstappen, that is Lewis Hamilton just ahead. He is going to have his DRS open, and so is George Russell. And Russell's going to get by him through 8, 9, 10.
Very wide on the exit there. Still no damage.
So lap 7, going on to lap 8. You can see there
We're
that
approaching the pit window, and you're going to be on mediums.
there is a lot of wear and tear on the red tires, the soft tires. You can see why a lot of the other teams decided to start off on the yellows. So we are going to be due for our first pit stop. I believe it's lap 10. 6th place now, as we got by Daniel Ricciardo. And Daniel Ricciardo, as you see there, he is on the medium tires, the yellow striped tires. And generally that car, or those tires, are about 1.6 seconds slower than the red soft tires. Lando Norris just ahead.
Too early on an ERS. See if I can outbrake him here.
Little bit of a bump there.
Yeah, that's like a bump.
And it looks like we pushed him out.
Brilliant. Nice move. Keep
No
going.
warning or no penalty. He's coming back.
Coming back. Nope.
We've got our DRS open now as we approach turn 1 and 2. And we're going to have the inside line into the chicane. So we pass one more car, and that's going to be Lando Norris. Up ahead, Max Verstappen, and he is on a set of hard tires. So let's see how fast we can get ahead of him. Very quick to catch up under Ascari.
So all of these front runners are running on mediums.
So we're able to drive underneath Max Verstappen in the Parabolica. Now lap 10 to 53, we are in 4th place. Able to keep him out of turn 1 and 2 as we have the inside entry into turn 1. Riding with Max Verstappen with the 66 just up ahead. That is a couple of Mercedes. And that is going to be George Russell and Lewis Hamilton.
Very late turn in.
In through Parabolica. The two Mercedes are battling each other. And the 66 is going to come in for the first pit stop. Very wild braking, locking up the tires just to meet the pit speed limits. And it looks like we've got a set of the medium tires to put on. Yes, the yellow striped tires are coming on. And instead of just 10
3.3,
laps,
not too bad.
these tires should be good for about 26. As we exit out of the pit stop, you can see here that we've got a clear track behind, and in front there are a couple of cars disappearing. So that is a Ferrari behind. Wondering which one it is. I believe Carlos Sainz was behind us already as we came in. So it could possibly be Sainz. So one of the few tracks that is actually very wide open, so you can see very far into the distance. And even from the driver's cockpit, you can see there's a lot of cars up ahead. So reaching speeds of more than 215 miles per hour as we approach turn 1 and 2. That is a Haas battling with one of the Williams. And this would be a position on the track as we had made our first pit stop. These cars have not stopped yet. That is Mick Schumacher in the Haas just ahead of us. Nicholas Latifi in the Williams just out of him. And looking at the timing, yes, that was Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari behind us as we came out of the pits. Handily get by Mick Schumacher.
Nice job, nice overtake.
We have DRS available to us as we come on to Nicholas Latifi in the Williams. Into Ascari, 8, 9, and 10. And we should also have a speed advantage over him here. There is no DRS on this back straight. Braking as hard and as late as we can. We are a little bit off track as we get around Nicholas Latifi.
It's coming back.
And again, that is going to give him an opportunity to come back. We are racing position for position at this point. He actually has the DRS available to him as we come into turn 1. Nice little lock up there from the 66.
Very dangerous racing there with Latifi.
Now having to fight our way back to Nicholas Latifi after turn 1 and 2. Turn 7, the second Lesmo, and that is going to bring us into a DRS zone. We will have it available to us. You can see the rear ring open in the rear view mirror. Just enough to get by. A lot of very exciting racing so far. We've made a lot of passes. We do have a very low downforce setting for the race. This is Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. And it looks like we're going to easily be able to get around him underneath into turn 1. You can see there that he was trying to close off the lane.
That's the way to do it.
Lap 14, we are back in the 15th place.
And
after our first pit stop.
Is 2.1 seconds.
And that would be Sebastian Vettel. It's actually 1.7 now.
Trailing our teammate by 1.5 seconds.
Very late braking into turn 1, and that is going to let the cars ahead get by a little
Not
bit.
very good at going through the first chicane. Very difficult.
So looking at the tire temperatures on the steering wheel, you can see there the front left is about 5 or 6 degrees warmer than the front right. But in the back, we have seen the left rear to be as much as 8 or 9 degrees warmer than the right rear. We didn't take this into account during the practice sessions for our setup, as we are going to be making a two-stop race. So exiting turn 10, we are now under the wing of Sebastian Vettel. That is our teammate just ahead of us. And Vettel's going to try to take the inside.
There?
Nope.
Somebody got loose. Oh, these guys are crazy.
Another big lockup from the 66.
They are definitely driving me back. Team orders.
So back behind our teammate. And he does have very good speed. We will try to see if we can get by here. He is squeezing us a little bit to the left. And there we are. We're going to be able to get by Marino Sato in the other driving immersion. And that is also going to slingshot us underneath Sebastian Vettel. As we cross the start-finish line, he is just a wing ahead. Into turn 1 and 2, we are going to have the inside lane under heavy braking. And yes, we are going to be able to keep our pass. So lap 17, we are now in 13th place. Recently just passing Marino Sato and Sebastian Vettel. And you can see that our teammate is giving him a good battle right now, side to side. That is Kevin Magnussen in the Haas, just ahead of us. A little over 1 second, now 0.8. So we're actually pretty fast through Ascari. And we're going to be even closer here through Parabolica under heavy braking. You can see there how much space we've gained. Now under his wing as we approach the DRS zone through the start-finish line. And he doesn't put up much effort to squeeze us to the right. There we are, another pass.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.3 seconds.
I don't have any grip in those very slow corners. Just not enough downforce going to the car.
Coming out of turn 10, you can look at our steering wheel. You can see the fuel level there. We are now at plus 1.81. Earlier it was plus 1.95. So you can see that we are under heavy fuel use as we lap through Monza. Reaching top speed right before we get to turn 1 and 2 for a very slow chicane through the first variante. Curva Grande to the right. Hard braking into the second variante, 4, 5.
Driver in front.
Stroll is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 5.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 18 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 28.1. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing.
So his tires must be really old.
Gap to the car ahead is 4.0 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind is 6.8 seconds.
Again, 207 miles per hour before we get to turns 1 and 2. Very big wheel spin as we come out. Now our fuel is down to 1.78. We are burning into our reserves. A little bit faster there as we came out of turn 7. Look at the timing on the steering wheel. We are now ahead of our fastest lap by hundredths of a second. 0.3. And a very good exit out of turn 10. We are now nearly a half a second faster than our fastest lap. Very hard braking into Parabolica. Still ahead.
The car ahead's losing 2 seconds a lap to you. Good job.
And that was about 0.3 of a second faster than our fastest lap. Coming into lap 21. And we are a lot closer now to Lance Stroll. He was recently just 4.5 seconds a couple laps ago. Now down to 1.8.
So the yellow should be up to 10 by now.
He is racing with the car ahead of him here, Pierre Gasly, and he may be slowing him down a little bit. Looking on from Pierre Gasly, that is Lance Stroll in the green. Aston Martin with a little dot appearing in the background, and that is going to be the number 66. Looking on from the helicopter as we exit Parabolica through the start-finish line. The 66 quickly approaching. Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin coming out of turns 1 and 2. Very close now.
So car's running great when DRS is working.
DRS open. We're going to keep it safe. Not enough room to make a pass. And we are going to depend on our advantage here as we approach turn 11. There we are, under heavy braking. And you can see there very briefly that Lance Stroll had to lock up his brakes as he was preparing to turn into Parabolica. Suddenly the 66 was just underneath, and he couldn't quite make his turn when he wanted to. Heavy braking again. We are past Pierre Gasly into turn 1.
Very slow, but I had to do it.
Again, with all this heavy braking, we had actually reduced our anti-roll bar very low.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So there's another change in the pit strategy that they are proposing.
What's so new about that? Oh, okay.
Got that confirmed.
So our tire wear is not too bad, and I believe it put us back from 31 to 36 laps.
To the car in front is 6.6 seconds.
So yes, tire wear is actually pretty good right now with this set of mediums. Again, you can see there that the front left is about 5 or 6 degrees warmer than the front right. Riding here with Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren. That is the Alpine, another Alpine, and I believe they are battling all 4 of these cars. And it's very hard to tell right now, but that may be another McLaren just ahead of the 2 Alpines. So 2 teams battling each other on the track with 4 cars. Back on board with the 66. Again, our tire temperatures, you can see there that the rear tires are certainly warmer than the front tires.
All the cars we've passed so far are hanging on to their tires.
With the,
I believe they are on a one-stop strategy.
Left rear being about 9 degrees warmer than the... Sorry, the left rear is about 9 degrees warmer than the right rear.
There's somebody coming in, I believe that is Alonso.
So yes, we were just recently looking at the battle between the 2 Alpines and the 2 McLarens. Here's Alonso coming in for a change of tires. And he has put on a set of the hard white tires. Very possible
Marino's
that...
coming in for his stop now.
Very possible that at lap 25, their strategy is to finish the race with that set of tires. And that means that he won't have to stop again for the rest of the race. He will be a little bit slower, but hopefully he can make that time up. And it only works when you are consistent with speed and lapping, but it is possible. Here we are making some more adjustments to our brake bias. Again, bring it a little bit further back as we approach Ascari. Don't have to slow the car down that much, even though we have come out of a very long straight underneath the old track.
Didn't receive that. Repeat the message. Repeat
Driver
the message.
in front. Driver in front. driver in front.
Norris just ahead, push for the position. Okay, gap ahead is 3.4 seconds.
So here's the other Alpine, Esteban Ocon coming in. And he is also going to follow suit. Those are a set of the hard white tires. There's the McLaren he was recently running with. So that is Lando Norris just ahead of us, the other McLaren. And again, we are approaching the car that was one of the four that was racing. Two Alpines have stopped. One of the McLarens, Daniel Ricciardo, has stopped. So it's very possible that if he is in the same strategy as Daniel Ricciardo, that Lando Norris will be stopping at the end of this lap, or perhaps be changing onto a similar set of tires. And that will bring us to Charles Leclerc just in front in fourth place. So we're watching Lance Stroll and Gasly here. We just passed them. Here's Lance Stroll coming in to change his tires. And lap 27 of 53, he was able to stretch out this set of yellows, which he would have started the race out with, changing onto hard tires like a couple of the other teams. And that is going to make it for a one-stop pit strategy for Lance Stroll. 3 cars wide coming into turn 1. Those are the two Alpines that were racing with each other. And that is Sebastian Vettel that we passed a little while back. So the two Alpines through the staggered pit stops have come on the track, and they are racing again with each other. That is Esteban Ocon behind Fernando Alonso.
I've got nothing on him.
Back with the 66. This is the McLaren of Lando Norris. And very hard braking into turn 11. You can see there that he did
Norris
close off the inside.
That's P3, you're into the podium positions, well done.
He does have very good top speed here. You can see we have our DRS open. And we're going to try to brake underneath. Yes.
No damage.
One of the best places to pass on the track.
So right now everybody is trudging on their old tires.
So lap 28, we are in second place with Charles Leclerc just ahead of us in the Ferrari. He's got a set of hard tires. I believe he may have already come in. I don't believe that he would have started the race on a set of hard tires. Just wouldn't have made sense. And if that is the case, he will be finishing the race on that set.
Still have plenty of fuel.
Riding here with Lando Norris, you can see here that he is coming in to change out of his first set of tires.
So he's got a set of hard tires.
So he does have a set of hard tires that they are putting on, and he is going to be going for a one-stop strategy as well. The number 66 here has a two-stop strategy. We put on this set of mediums just after lap 10. Obviously, they're not going to do 40 laps, so we will have to come in again. And it would have certainly been possible to change on to a set of hard tires after our soft red tires to finish the race. And that would have been another choice in the strategies, but you can see here that we are nearing Charles Leclerc, 1.9 seconds behind as we exit out of turn 10.
Good lap here.
On board for the 66 to the start-finish line. 1.6 seconds behind Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Our second set of these yellow tires. And they are going to be faster than his white tires, so we are catching him.
Driver in front. Driver in front.
Leclerc is ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.8 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 26.1. This is great. We're gaining by around 9/10 a lap. Keep it up.
So we are making very good time.
With these
We're
yellows.
approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
But they are pretty worn out now.
Very difficult exit out of turn 2 again with the rear tire spinning. Four and 5. First Lesmo. Another look at the steering wheel. You can see that we are now at a surplus of 1.65
So he will be finishing the race on that set.
laps of fuel. So lap 31, we can pretty much guesstimate that he will be finishing the race on that set of tires. And after we come in for another set, we will have to catch back up to him, because it's not likely that we're going to be able to put on about 30 seconds on Charles Leclerc before we come in again. Very briefly at 208 miles an hour before we get to the first chicane. And this is on board with Charles Leclerc with the 66 driving immersion just behind. Very faint shape in the background. Nice sunny day for a race.
Still no DRS. I should be in the tow by now.
So no DRS before Ascari. Sorry, no DRS before Parabolica.
Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
There we are, the pit crew is calling us to pit in after this lap. We just happened to get around Charles Leclerc. So Charles Leclerc here has the set of hard tires. He will not be coming in again to change his tires. The 66 Driving Immersion just ahead on a set of mediums, ready to change out. Should be changing on to another set of mediums to finish the race.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
On board with the 66, here we are coming in. This is going to be our last pit stop for the race. And we are going to carefully watch to see what tires they put on. There we are, another set of yellows.
Late turn-in meant we had a slower than planned pit stop, I'm afraid.
Not bad, 3.1.
So
Pit
not a bad
strategy
pit stop. There is a penalty as we had a late turn into the pit box. However, still 3.1 is a very good stop. On board with the 66. Brief view of Russell and Hamilton and Perez just up ahead. They are 6.5 seconds ahead of us, with Charles Leclerc about 17 seconds ahead of them. So that is about 23, 24 seconds back. And 23 to 24 seconds lost from coming in to change out tires.
Driver in front.
Perez ahead, and gap to the car in front is 6.3 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 6 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:25.9. Managing your tyres, manage your tyres.
Starting lap 35, it looks like we are still using fuel, but it looks like we still have enough, hopefully, to finish the race. We are now at a surplus of plus 1.6 laps. Lap 35 of 53, we are in 5th place behind Sergio Perez, about 5 seconds just ahead. And you can see there in the log shot that he just exited through the Parabolica.
Okay, gap ahead is 4.7 seconds.
are the Mercedes of Russell and Hamilton just ahead. Third and fourth place. On board with Sergio Perez, you can see that he's racing with the two Mercedes just behind him, less than half a second, down to back straight. On through Ascari, 8, 9, 10. Back on board with the 66 Driving Immersion. You can see there the timing on the left of the screen that we currently have the fastest lap of the race. And looking at the timing in the steering wheel.
So these tires are coming up to temp, and we are running a even faster lap now.
We have just achieved the fastest lap of the race again of 1:24. Very good exit down to back straight. We are catching the cars in front as they are battling with each other.
I think they just had team orders there. Is that Perez ahead of these two Ferraris, or two Mercedes?
Two cars into turn one. Still two cars, and it looks like the Red Bull is going to win out. But now coming into the Variante, we are underneath the wings of the Mercedes, and we get by George Russell in the first Mercedes. Again, under very heavy
Nice
braking.
move. Keep going.
So coming onto the Parabolica, you want to wait till the 50-meter mark. Do some heavy braking, downshift to fifth gear, exit in sixth. And we are now wheel to wheel with the Red Bull. That is Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes. And there are three cars within reach of each other. And we shall see how this is going to fold out. Right now we have the inside line on Hamilton, also the inside line on Perez, and we get by both of them.
Going at the inside line.
Going through the Variante. Curva Grande to the right. Second Variante. We are now ahead of the Red Bull and the Mercedes. We've got Charles Leclerc
20 seconds.
just ahead of us. He is 20 seconds. Lap 39 of 53.
I don't believe there are 20 laps. I would have to make up a second a lap.
on the
Driver in
ERS.
front.
Leclerc ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 19.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. They've done 14 laps on those tyres now, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 26.6. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going.
So right now, if everything turns out, we could be looking at a very close finish for the race. Right now with this second set of medium tires, we are about a half a second faster than our fastest lap. As the car gets lighter with less fuel. And speaking of which, we have 1.5 laps of surplus. And if you calculate that, 0.6 per lap, extra heavy fuel, right now under this speed, doesn't look like we're going to make it, but again, we get another fast lap. That is a 1:24.433 in race conditions in career mode. Again, driven from the cockpit, unlike the time trials
So I must be running the least amount of wing.
that occur from the T-cam. So get yourself a steering wheel and a seat. And enjoy the race. Lap 41, we are charging to the front. Now 18 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. So that was a little bit of a slow lap, lost about 2.3 seconds. A little bit slower than our fastest lap. Coming into the first variante, a lot of time can be lost here if you get this all wrong. Fortunately for the 66, we have a clear track. A little bit of wheel spin there, coming out of turn 2. .8 seconds behind. Coming in through the second Lesno, we are about a half a second slower than our fastest lap. So we have an additional 1.53 laps of extra fuel. Wish we could burn it off like in the previous generation. You could change the fuel mixture, and that would be equivalent to a lot of DRS and ERS. So braking hard again to get into the parabolica. We exit out in 6th gear. Don't want to drift all the way to the left there as it's very bumpy. And if you ride over the curb, it will damage the undertray.
Turbocharger's on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum.
Come on, come on.
Certainly missed our mark on the second flat or second turn there, as every little bit of track is going to...
How can I keep mileage to a minimum? We're in the middle of a race.
So every bit of track is going to be very, very important now as we are trying to make our way up to Charles Leclerc. 10 laps to go. 16 seconds, 17 seconds behind now.
Tires are starting to go away. I'm carrying a lot of fuel.
So lap 43, we should be about halfway through the life of these tires. And at this point, they should start declining. Looking on to Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. He is in the lead by 16.9 seconds.
Leclerc is ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 16.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 18 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:26.3. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going.
So we still have an advantage over Charles Leclerc. However, I don't think that'll be enough. Last lap we were about a half a second slower. And 1.6 altogether. Here we are, 44 of 53 laps, 16.5 seconds behind. On board with Charles Leclerc, coming in through turn 7. Coming into Ascari, 8, 9, and 10. And right now, this is how much ahead he is ahead of us. Still 16.3 seconds. There is a car in front of us. Can't quite tell who it is. Maybe we can get a tow. And you saw there in the background the 2 Mercedes just disappearing in the background. As we continue to charge. This is a Haas just ahead of us. Can't quite tell who it is. Not really a place to get a tow. And we did have a warning about a turbocharger being worn. And fortunately for us, we don't seem to be feeling any effect of it. You can, however, tell that the tires are older. Here we are coming around the Haas. He's got the blue light or blue flag. Coming into Ascari. He's going to back down. 8, 9, and 10. And we are going to ride the curb on the exit. Charles Leclerc ahead now, brought down to 14 and 4/10. So 14.1 seconds now. We are still catching him with just 7 laps to go. And that would mean...
okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form.
I believe he's referring to the 2 Mercedes in back. So we are still going fast. And all we can hope for at this point is that Charles's tires are getting old. Fortunately for him, those are the hard white tires, which will decline, but not in a steep manner, so very gradually. He should have enough to finish the race, certainly enough tire and grip on those tires. And right now we're catching him, but ever so slowly. We are starting to feel the effect of worn medium tires. 14.4 seconds.
Very slow lap here.
Yeah, certainly any mistakes through the chicanes or even the curves there are going to be amplified by these long straights, as you have to get it absolutely right in order to maximize your speed as we're coming in through turn 1. Still catching Charles Leclerc at 13.5 seconds now.
Full race update.
Okay, you're sat in P2. Leclerc ahead, and gap to the car in front is 13.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, Russell's behind you now, and the gap behind us is 7.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 7 laps to go.
And out of all the cars around us, we do have the fastest set of tires.
2 seconds a lap. Not going to happen unless this tires get really old.
There are the 2 Mercedes with Perez in tow, and that is going to be 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The Haas moving over to let them by as he's being lapped. There we are. Less than 5 laps to go. We are 13.1 seconds behind. Looking on now to Charles Leclerc as he comes around the Parabolica. Through the pit straight, across the start-finish line. 12.3 seconds now.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
So through Curva Grande, we were 0.2 of a second faster than our fastest lap. So the car is still able to go fast. Now it's just a matter of not making any mistakes. And we have made mistakes in the last 5 or 6 laps as our chase for Charles Leclerc has seemed to have slowed down. Lap 49 now of 53. 10 seconds ahead. Coming in through a Parabolica, we are 0.14 seconds faster than our fastest lap.
That's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Another fast lap recorded, 1:24.301. That is 13 thousandths of a second faster than our previous fast lap. Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. The driving immersion number 66. And that is 10 seconds. big wheel spin there, almost threw us into the curve. Got into the grass a little bit.
Come on.
And we haven't done much to monitor the tire wear. We do have a constant view of the temperatures, and again you can see there that the left rear is the hottest tire on the car. Left side, of course, is hotter than the right as we are circling the track clockwise. A little misstep there in the shifting.
Had a
9
flip there in the
seconds.
transmission.
Not a very good exit out of turn 2. This time around Curva Grande, we are about a half a second slower than our fastest lap. A couple of cars
Okay,
just ahead of us.
4 laps of fuel remaining.
So making a lot of little mistakes driving on the track now, and you can see that we are 10 seconds behind. Not close enough to these 2 cars. We should be able to get a tow out of turn 10, and hopefully that'll bring us through a little bit quicker. They will get the blue flag, and they will be moving over. And we're looking for every little bit of draft here. Just don't drive onto the
That's my
driving
teammate.
line.
Gonna pull me. Nope. That is a Williams.
So let's see if this Williams can pull us through the start-finish line. Again, to reach our top speed here, we are now at 214 miles an hour. ERS, DRS, 216.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
So we did reach a very high top speed of 216 miles an hour. However, working with
Not
the
gonna make
Williams, we lost a little time, obviously, to Charles Leclerc. 9.4 seconds. Hasn't changed much in the last couple of laps. Lap 52 of 53. So this lap 1 second slower than our fastest lap. And what are the possibilities that Charles Leclerc is going to have some mechanical problems right now? Or even traffic. He does have a car in front of him as he crosses the start-finish line for the last time. That is our teammate. He will be blue flagged, so we can't really slow him down too much. Time now is 9.5 seconds. Coming in through the second variante from the last time. Turn 6 for the last time.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
So very poorly through there as we drove on the apron coming out of 6. Definitely going to slow us down, but we've got enough time.
Well, Russell got us by about 10 seconds. I believe that is...
Guess we have enough time to the car behind us.
This race was certainly doable. We had a very good setup, good strategy.
So after a very slow last lap, we are now 11 seconds behind Charles Leclerc, who has just crossed the start-finish line and we come in through the Parabolica. We will cross the start-finish line in second place.
Great work, well done. We're really happy with the podium here, well done.
Not a bad day, great weather, great race.
Fastest lap driver today, second place.
Yes, we did
Very good race
get
here.
the fastest lap as
That's
well.
a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. So let's review the updated driver's standings. Charles Leclerc assumes the lead in the standings after today's outstanding result. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the Professor. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, good work from the owner-drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Thanks for watching the race at Driving Immersion. If you like the race, don't forget to give us a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing for more racing ahead. Here are the pit strategies as they folded throughout the race for the top 14 cars. You can see here that most drivers went along with just one stop, starting off with a set of mediums and then finishing off with a hard set of tires. So that was the common way to go, and you can see here that it definitely paid off for Charles Leclerc. At the end, George Russell was just too far behind to catch us at second place with 2 stops. Further down the grid, you can see the other cars that started off with a set of soft tires, then it changed onto mediums. Alexander Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, and Guan Yu Zhou. Obviously today the strategy was to go with a one stop, starting off with a set of mediums and finishing the race with hard set. That's going to do it for our coverage of the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. Next race is going to be Singapore. And Singapore takes place in the Marina Bay Street Circuit and was the inaugural night race for Formula One.